in the time after King Arthur. Lake in the woods. When love's feeling is right, one knows it. It is beyond all doubt when the intensity pervades your every thought and action. But I say to all of you who have not found true love, that if there is the least sense of doubt, if long courtships are necessary before you can know each other, then that is perhaps not true love, but labored love. Because as I began, when love is present, one knows it without question, and subsequent marriage occurs without either party even having to ask it of the other. So it is with Daryl and Percival too, as they dally about their lake in the woods. Their cottage is nestled in the woods between the hills and the seashore. The lovers sit on a swing on the cottage porch, as the peeping eye of the full moon spies on them from the top of a hill. They rock gently, bathing in the harmony and rhythm that has so recently flooded their joined being. At the sides of the porch, the flowers of the white evening primrose begin to close, while lightning bugs flash their mating calls to one another.
There, darily over those hills, is the former abode of the witch.
Well, bless her wretched soul. Come, Percival, let us walk the grounds.
Moving through the glittering fields of fireflies, they walk along the lake path without words. Though still weary from sea travel, love's energy carries them on its eagle's wings, as being near to one's life partner is contentment enough for anyone on a night in the age of darkness in the midsummer. There is a strange chill in the air, as the woods compel them to enter and share in its secrets on this one night of magic. Church bells knell the toll of 10 o'clock from the nearby town. The sounds are muffled and distant because the air has suddenly grown heavy.
I think that we are not alone, Percival.
Yes, the forest has many eyes, and I have come to love them. And tonight I feel as if the air is filled with the magic, hopes, and dreams of all of the souls which have come before us since the dawn of time.
There is a similar night in my country, during which these feelings of old, sealed in our souls, become known, and float in the air so that we might know of our dim and animal past.
Hark, I see movement ahead and in the trees.
They run to the spot, but the impish form is gone. However, the grass is yet bent and marks the small man-creature's passing.
Hold me close, Percival.
I know this feeling. It is but the witch's soul on its way to its final and eternal resting spot in hell's heart. It's gone now. I again feel the beauty and goodness of man, and only this can ensure the victory of wisdom.
Making love on a midsummer night. This time, dear reader, we do not leave our lovers alone, and you frustrated. For sensuous love is as natural and necessary to human life as breathing, and just about as common. At a comfortable distance from the fire, Percival sheds his downy vest. For the heat grows warmer and uses it as a pillow when he lies on a blanket covering the finely sifted sands of the lakeshore. Daryl straddles him, hovering in the air above him, her knees and hands supporting her and settling into the hollows that she carves in the sand. Percival lies on his back looking up at her and into the starry night where endless fires burn. She is now the huntress reigning supreme over her willing prey. Her rear pointed to the sky, she brings her lips within kissing distance by lowering down on her elbows, her ripe breasts now brushing ever so lightly against her lover's chest, which she has managed to bear as well as her own. The kisses are full and moist, playful, but then lingering. Percival loved this position because it left his hands free to harvest her breasts as they hung in fullness, like fruit from a tree. She enjoyed the power and control that the position offered her. She could direct the lovemaking as quickly or as slowly as passion dictated. She turns her head this way and that so he can kiss her from ear to ear. Her soft hair brushes his cheeks time and time again and sweeps away all notion of time and space. She reaches down and releases his love arrow from its confines as he reaches above and over her to strip down the last flimsy piece of her undergarments and, for a time, massages her buttocks but does not press her down upon him. For this is her move, and there is magic to be enjoyed in that airy space of attraction between the sword and its scabbard. He reaches under her to fan her quickly rising sparks into flame. After some minutes of this, her lips below are engorged and dripping hot rain down upon his manhood. Several times she stills her movements as her body's many tensions are swept away by the waves of well-being that orgasm brings. With his other hand, he gathers up first one breast, then the other, then both together. Balancing on two knees and one hand now, she reaches for the stiff wick to which she will pass her fire, and strokes him from his balls to the tip where she finds the seepage of love's juices waiting to burst forth. She plays it against her button of desire to set the final fuse aglow and creeping. Now her pulsating well of flame devours wick and wax, surrounding it with heat and comfort beyond belief for many lovely minutes. Finally, with a last surge of activity that they both know will take them beyond the point of no return, the raging flame of sword and scabbard tastes the powder itself in explosions of passion's tremendous energies revealed. Yet awash with waves of contentment, they pull a blanket over them and drift into the calm sleep that only lovers know. The last curse on earth. Percival sits down to hear the giant's tale, and the giant begins.
The witch placed a curse on me as well. I will forever roam the earth in sadness if I do not accomplish the following by the end of this day. I must see the sun set 3 times in one day, and I must during daylight create a dark space behind me that never ends. What will I do? I cannot stop the sun and raise it up again, nor can I cause the absence of light behind me and into the infinite depths of space.
Day is nearly done, and the horizon is rising to meet the bloodshot eye of day. Percival, having studied under the poet-astronomer Taliesin, quickly leads the giant to the shore where a small piece of low, hilly land juts out into the sea. They face to the west and view the setting sun, now a symbol of the sad giant's dying hopes. The sun drops through some clouds and is bright again, but half of it is already below the horizon.
Look at your shadow, giant. How long is your shadow at sunset or sunrise? What is shortest at noon grows longer as the afternoon wears on, until finally it stretches forever behind you, since you are directly between the sun and that which is behind you.
That is fine, Percival, but the sun is nearly set and will certainly not rise again until the morrow. I must still see 3 sunsets.
No time to explain now, giant. Quick, lie down on the ground and see your first sunset today as the top sliver of the sun falls below and is extinguished by the horizon. See? There it goes. Now quickly, stand up to your great height, and what do you see?
I see the tip of the sun again.
And your second sunset of the day, giant?
Yes, I see it, and another green flash as well.
Now run up yonder hill and bring up the sun again so that it may set 3 times in a day.
The gleeful giant runs up the hill in great leaps and turns to see the sun set 3, 4, even 5 more times. each sunset lasting a few seconds.
What it would be like to live in an era filled with magic, knights, and mysterious creatures? An era where the world was a vast, unexplored wilderness and every day was an adventure? Welcome, then, to the medieval period, a time of knights and nobles, witches and wizards, giants and goblins. Our tale begins with two companions, Percival and Darrell, journeying through the beautiful but eerie forests of Britain. Their quest? To ensure that the witch's old dwelling is devoid of any lingering malevolence. As they traverse the glittering fields, a silent understanding passes between them. Despite the weariness in their bones, a shared energy propels them forward. Love, that powerful force, carries them on its wings, offering a sense of contentment even in the heart of darkness. But as they move deeper into the woods, a strange chill permeates the air. The forest, it seems, is alive with unseen eyes, watching their every move. The distant tolling of church bells from a nearby town adds to the eerie atmosphere. Suddenly, Darrell gasps, her eyes wide with fear. "I think that we are not alone, Percival," she whispers. "Yes," agrees Percival. "I feel it too. The air is thick with the hopes and dreams of souls long past." Just then, they spot a small, impish figure darting through the trees. They run after it, but it disappears, leaving behind only a trail of bent grass. Darrell clings to Percival, her heart pounding. But Percival, a knight of the realm, is unafraid. He reassures Darrell that the strange feeling they experienced was merely the witch's soul departing for its final resting place. He speaks of the inherent goodness and wisdom of mankind, their only weapon against the forces of evil. And then, as if summoned by Percival's words, a giant appears. Will our heroes triumph over this colossal foe? Will their love and bravery be enough to see them through this perilous encounter? For that, dear listener, you must wait for the next chapter of their adventure. Until then, remember, every era has its heroes, and every hero has their tale. And in the medieval times, those tales were filled with magic, mystery, and the unyielding spirit of the human heart.
And so it was. The clever knight Percival, with his knowledge of the world, had helped the giant to see not just 3 but a handful of sunsets in a single day. The giant's laughter echoed across the hills and valleys, a sound of pure joy that hadn't been heard for many moons. As the last sliver of the sun dipped below the horizon, for the final time that day, the giant turned to Percival, his eyes reflecting the twilight sky. "You have lifted the curse, Percival. I am free at last. I will no longer roam the earth in sadness. The witch's curse has been broken." Percival, feeling a sense of accomplishment, replied, "It was not I who broke the curse, but your willingness to see things from a different perspective. Remember this lesson, my friend. Sometimes, the answer to our problems lies not in changing the world, but in changing the way we look at it." And so, under the starlit sky, the giant rejoiced, his heart filled with newfound hope and happiness. The last curse on earth had been lifted, all thanks to the wisdom and wit of a humble knight named Percival. He had not only saved a giant, but also taught a lesson to all who would hear this tale. That perception is a powerful tool, capable of transforming curses into blessings, despair into joy. And so ends our tale, a tale of magic, curses, and the power of perspective. A tale of a knight and a giant and their unforgettable sunset adventure. A tale that reminds us that even in the face of the impossible, there is always a way, if only we are brave enough to seek it.